Imagine this. What if the reality you live in, every decision you take, every dream you chase, was built not on truth, but on words? Words that were carefully chosen to define what is possible and what is impossible. Words that tell you who you are, where you belong, and what you must never dare to question. Now let me ask you, how many times in your life have you felt trapped not by walls, but by definitions? By sentences that sounded final. This is who you are. This is how the world works. This can't be done. But what if I told you that 2,500 years ago, a man dared to challenge this prison of language? A man who whispered truths so dangerous, so disruptive, that rulers tried to bury his words forever. His name was Lao Tzu, and what he left behind wasn't just philosophy, it was a secret code. A code hidden inside forbidden words that could completely redefine your reality. Lao Tzu is often portrayed as a wise old man riding on the back of an ox, leaving the empire behind. But that image is just the surface. The truth? Lao Tzu was a revolutionary, not with weapons, but with words. He wrote the Tao Te Ching, a book so strange, so mystical, that even today scholars can't agree if it's philosophy, poetry, or prophecy. The rulers of his time feared his teachings. Because he didn't just write about politics or morality, he wrote about reality itself. And he dared to say something unthinkable, that the world you live in is not fixed. That language itself is the cage that traps perception. And the only way out is to dissolve the words, to see what exists before names. Let me pause and ask you, how much of your daily life is shaped by names, labels, categories? Your job title, your social role, your gender, your nationality. Would you even exist without those words? Or would you be something greater? In the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu begins with a warning. The Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao. Think about that. He's saying, the moment you put truth into words, you've already lost it. This was dangerous, because if words are illusions, then laws are illusions. Authority is an illusion. Even identity is an illusion. The empire wanted people to obey, to follow words carved into law, etched into stone. But Lao Tzu whispered, what if the truth can't be written? What if reality lives in silence, in the spaces between? Now stop and think. How many times in your own life have you felt something so real, but you couldn't put it into words? A feeling, a dream, a vision. You tried to explain it, but the words weren't enough. That's the realm where Lao Tzu lived. And that's why his words were called forbidden. Because he was teaching people to see beyond the dictionary of the empire, beyond the script written for them. Consider this. Modern psychology shows that language doesn't just describe reality, it creates it. If your language has no word for freedom, you may never conceive it. If your language reduces love to just one meaning, you may never feel its infinite forms. Lao Tzu knew this centuries ago. That's why his words flow like paradoxes. Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Those who know do not speak. Those who speak do not know. Each phrase breaks the mind, shakes language, opens a gap where silence can speak. Have you ever noticed how sometimes silence explains more than entire conversations? That awkward pause that reveals the truth people tried to hide. That moment of stillness when you finally understand yourself. Lao Tzu wanted you to live in that silence, because silence is reality without words. And only there you are free. But the empire couldn't allow such freedom. His teachings threatened order, control, obedience. So parts of the Tao Te Ching were hidden, burned, or rewritten. Whole passages vanished. Yet paradoxically, the words survived. Smuggled in fragments, copied by monks, passed down in secret. Not because they were easy to understand, but because they were impossible to erase. Even today, you don't understand Lao Tzu, you experience him. You read one line and it stays with you, haunting you, reshaping how you see the world. Tell me, has a single sentence ever changed your life? Maybe a phrase someone spoke in passing that broke your world apart and built a new one. That's the essence of forbidden words. Here lies the ultimate contrast. On one side, the world of words, where everything is named, defined, boxed, controlled. Where reality is filtered through laws, categories, identities. On the other side, the world of Tao, where silence speaks louder than laws, where paradox breaks the prison of logic, where reality is fluid, living, untamed. Two paths, two realities. And every day, with every word you accept, you are choosing one of them. So what do you do with this? How do you live Lao Tzu's forbidden wisdom in a modern world ruled by definitions? Practice silence. Stop explaining, start observing. Break labels. When someone tells you you are this, dare to ask, what if I'm more? Use paradox. Embrace contradictions instead of fearing them. Listen to what cannot be spoken. Intuition, dreams, silence. Because the rebellion isn't about destroying words. It's about not being destroyed by them. Lao Tzu left us a gift, a reminder that words are shadows. That truth is not in the sentence, but in the silence around it. So let me ask you, what words are holding your life hostage right now? What names, what labels, what definitions keep you trapped in a reality that isn't yours? And what would happen if you let them go? Because maybe then, like Lao Tzu, you'd realize the most forbidden truth of all, that reality is not something you read. It's something you remember. Welcome to Fragments of Reality.